Hi. Let's start sitting. I like to sit on a block and I just forgot to get my block out, but we won't be here for long, but I do encourage you to find a seat that is comfortable to you. I'm Maeve. Eyes soften. That doesn't mean they have to close. They just soften. I point to this a lot, and I'm going to do it again today, but I have a process when I start my practice. And my process is not necessarily your practice, but I'm going to share with you what my practice is in case it helps you in any way. I arrive on my mat, whatever position I'm in. I actually say in my head, and now I practice yoga. And this doesn't mean that my practice doesn't extend off my mat. What I mean is in this moment, I'm going to be committed to my on the mat practice, which is really hard when we're at home. And then I take my attention to my breathing, to my platform, so whatever is on the ground. And then sensation in my body, sensation in my mind, like the fluctuation or evenness of my thoughts. And I do my best to just get a general sense of how I feel, like my mood, my temperament. And that one is a little trickier for me. But I'm also not attaching to whatever it is that I observe. Just observing it. And then reach the arms forward. So go forward, forward, forward. Bring the forearms together. Lift the elbows a little higher. Split the hands. Keep the elbows high. Bring the hands back together. Reach the arms forward. Turn the palms forward. And then pull the elbows toward the outer ribs. So I'm not actually touching my rib cage, I'm pulling the elbows to the sides of my body and I'm hugging them inward. Pinky fingers spiral a little open, thumbs draw in toward each other just a bit. And then push forward again. Or reach forward. Turn the palms flat toward the ground, the fingers long. And then actively pull the hands back, the fingers back, palms go forward. And now pull, 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 pull in. Reach forward. Negate the wrists, so sort of neutralize them. Negate was not the right word. Pull in, pull in, pull in. Gently hug the arms in toward the ribs. And then just release. Come around, hands and knees. Right leg extends back. We're going to pull the ground toward us, super, super strong. So shift forward, lower down, pulling the ground toward you, press it back up, stretch back into your heel, so toes are tucked. Come forward, elbows bend, hug the arms in, come back up, get a nice stretch in that Achilles calf. Come forward again, lower down, back up. Good. 2 more. Now really start to work that right leg strong and straight. Hands and knees. Stretch back, child's pose. So it's just a modified chaturanga. We're working the strength of the right leg. We're doing some work in the ankle, the calf. And when we were sitting, we were imagining pulling the arms back. And I want you to imagine pulling the floor toward you. Come back up, hands and knees. Left leg extends back. Push back into the heel. Come forward. Lower down. Push back up. Press it back. So pull, 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 pull the ground toward you. Press it away. And there's a difference between pulling the ground toward you mentally, like that mental difference, than just sort of resisting. So you could resist here, you could resist here, you could resist here, but that means you're resisting a power that's greater than you. And you're greater than that. So instead of resisting, I want you to pull. One more. Pull, 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 pull. Press it back. And then child's pose. I hope that makes a little bit of sense, and if it doesn't, don't worry. Downward facing dog, please. Imprint your hands. Drop your heels heavy. Lift the crease of the hips. Stretch the top of your ears toward your thumbs. Couple more breaths here, and I'm just going to offer up something and see how it feels to you. But I like the inside of my elbow, like where the crease of my elbow is, the bend of my elbow. I like that to kind of energize toward my thumb. So there's a lengthening. I like the angle of that elbow to be kind of lined up to that thumb. Right foot comes forward. Bend the left knee. Rise up, crescent. Drop as deeply as you can. Lift the heart. Gently draw the feet toward each other. Push the right foot down. Push the left foot down. Now from that place of strength, start to straighten the back leg any amount. Start to bow forward. Straighten the back leg like crazy. Push into the toes. Without lacing the hands behind the hips, take the hands back behind your body. So don't lace the fingers, but squeeze the hands in toward each other. Rise, lift the arms, root the back heel, straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. The intention, one of the intentions in Trikonasana is to be broad, to be big here through your chest. It's not to get your hand to the floor. If you never get your hand to the floor, it doesn't matter. So if you're taking your hand to the floor and you're hanging out down here, my suggestion is to bring your hand block or shin and allow yourself this amazing expanse, this feeling of spaciousness. Rise with your inhale. Good. Pick up your left heel, turn it in. Skandasana at the back of your mat. I've changed directions so that I could see you. So we'll go into your left knee bent, right leg straight. Dig this right heel down into the ground. Wake up the back of this leg. Not just in a stretching manner. So when I'm saying wake up the back of the leg, push the heel down as the hamstring. Do a little work here. Start to bend the right knee. You're going to pull from this right foot. Come back to the top of your mat. Plank inhale. Pull the ground toward you. Use your knees if you need to. lower down to your belly. Shalabhasana, feet stretch back, hands stretch back. Don't lace your hands, just reach back. Down dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward. Bend the right knee. Let that help bring you up. Imprint the toes down, the ball of the foot. Imprint the front foot down. And then gently draw in, and then from there, maybe start to straighten that back leg any amount. Draw forward. Reach the arms back. Don't lace the fingers, but squeeze the hands in toward each other. Back leg really straightens now. Use the toes. Reach forward. Root the back heel, straighten the front leg, triangle. Remember, looking for spaciousness here. Sense of stacking this right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. The hand can trick us sometimes. Sometimes we're here, but we take the hand back and we think we're opening up. We're not. Go straight up with the fingers. Wrap the chest open. Really nice. And rise up. Right heel turns in. Bend this right knee. Sit wherever you're comfortable in Skandasana. So it doesn't have to be super deep. And work the left leg. It's really interesting to me how you can change the dynamic of what in your body is working and what is maybe stretching based on where you decide to place things and the depth of where you go. For me, I could be here for a very long time. I'm very comfortable in my hip right here. I get a nice stretch when I'm this deep, and I feel more of a stretch in my hamstring here when I'm deep here. But when I'm here, I am working significantly more. My hip is working more. I'm working more to stabilize, so it becomes more of a strength posture for me than a stretching posture. So on any given day, kind of feeling where you need to be. Really nice. Come back around top of the mat. Plant your hands, breath in, plank. And then lower all the way to your belly. Shalabhasana again. Without lacing the hands, pull them in toward each other. And downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look at your hands, bring your feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. And bow, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Well done. Halfway, inhale. Right foot steps back, exhale. Crescent, inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Plank, inhale. Pull the ground toward you, chaturanga or the floor. Inhale, up dog, cobra or shalabhasana. Downward facing dog, exhale. Keep your left heel heavy. Inhale, right leg stretches back. Right foot steps forward. Crescent, rise up. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway. Left foot steps back, exhale. Crescent, root to rise. Exhale, hands down. Plank, inhale. Pull the ground toward you, chaturanga or the floor. Your back bend of choice, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Left leg back, inhale. And step your left foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Inhale, halfway. And bow, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach and rise. Exhale, bow. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, back bend, rise up. Exhale, down dog. Enjoy a few breaths in down dog, or if you want, bring your feet a little closer to your hands and a little closer to each other. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and then take a couple jumps here. And then feet to hands. Inhale, halfway. And bow, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands, heart, exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, open. Yeah. Down dog, exhale. Same thing. Stay in down dog in stillness, enjoy it, or maybe taking some hops here. And then everyone, feet to hands. Halfway, inhale. Bow, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands release to your heart. Inhale, rise. Bow forward. Half forward fold. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, open. Yeah. Down dog, exhale. Last time here, same option if you want. Stay where you are. If you want to take some jumps, go for it. Yes. And then feet to hands. Halfway, inhale. And bow, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Malasana, sink your hips down. Breath in. Hands down, either forward fold or knees come up onto your triceps, crow. So you're gonna kind of tip forward and then back into down dog with or without a chaturanga vinyasa. Really nice. Right leg back, inhale. Right knee into your chest, pause here. Right leg stretches back, stay in plank, optional chaturanga. Come back up, step your right foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Bow forward, don't lace your hands, just stretch the hands back. Inhale, lift off, Ardha Chandrasana. We'll stay for a few breaths. Okay, so I just had this question in class yesterday. You stay in half moon, but it resonated because I get questions like this a lot. And my student was asking me, where am I supposed to look in half moon? And she said, I always struggle with my balance. And I said, try looking at the ground, it will ground you. And she said, but what's the right way to do the pose? And I said, what do you need out of it? You need balance, ground yourself, or try looking straight ahead, or if you want, look up, but that's probably not gonna ground you. And she kept going back to what's the right way to do the pose. There's no right way to do the pose. The only right way is the way that you need today. That's how you know you're in the right version of the pose. So we can get caught up in what the right way is, like the classical version, or we can adapt the pose to work for us, because we're fine. Maybe it's the pose that has the problem, not us. And I'm dead serious about that. So you can let go of the idea that there's a right way, and there's only one right way to do the pose. Come into Malasana, top of your mat. I'm just going to turn toward you. Good, so good. Stay here, forward fold or crow. Hands come down. Give yourself some distance if you're coming into crow. Lift your heels. Bring your feet together. Squeeze them together. Try to pull the knees up. Get your hips and your feet closer together. When you're ready, make your way to down dog. Left leg back, inhale. Left knee into chest. Stay forward in plank, stretch the left leg back. Optional chaturanga, pull the ground toward you. Push it away, step your left foot forward. Crescent, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Half moon, your version. Yes. And they won't let me get out of here. And these walls twist and turn. The devil inside me returns as he smiles towards me. Again and again holds me. Malasana. Make your way onto your back. Bridge pose, feet pressed down, hips rise up. You can lace your hands behind your hips, but you don't have to. Release the hips down. Shoulders stay down, knees come up. Take your arms straight out and extend the arms until your hands touch your knees, and don't pull your knees in any closer than that. Breath in, exhale, tap your feet down. You can alternate them if you need to. Inhale, come up, exhale, down. You do not actually have to tap the floor. It might be an air tap. Stabilize. Contain the front of your torso. Navasana. Lift up. Legs can be bent or straight. Cross your shins. Downward facing dog, however you want to get there. Right leg back, inhale. Left heel stays heavy. Right foot comes forward. Reach forward to rise up. Find your back bend here, any amount. Bow forward. This time straighten the front leg. Half moon, soften the front knee, come around. Consider Chapasana, bending the top leg, finding your foot, kicking away. If you have the foot, pull the heel toward your hip and then release so you don't have like a slingshot. Bend your standing leg, stretch your left foot to the back of the mat. Skandasana, any version. Come back around top of the mat, left hand, pinky side of your left foot, so pivot all the way around, and Vashisthasana. Really nice. Come through center, pull the floor toward you, come all the way to your belly. Bend your knees, don't take your feet, just reach your hands back. Disconnected Dhanurasana, no hands. Down dog. Left leg back, right heel stays heavy. Step your foot forward. Reach forward to rise up crescent. Add this back bend in if you can. Straighten the front leg as you bow. Soften the front knee, take off. Ardha Chandra Chapasana, any version if that's not working for you. If you have the foot, pull it in towards you to release. Bend your standing leg. Stretch your right foot back. Skandasana. Back of your mat. Pull from the left heel, come around. Right hand, pinky side of the right foot. Vashisthasana. Coming out of your Skandasana into Vashisthasana. To the floor, pull it to you. This time, if you want to take your feet, you're welcome to inside or outside, or stay disconnected. I really like that version for the strength quality of it. This is more of a stretch. When you don't take the feet to the hands, hands to feet, you get more strength. Down dog, exhale. Enjoy your breath in down dog or shorten your stance. Lift your heels. And we're going to take a few hops here again. So you're drawing your knees to your chest. And then feet to your hands. Good. Halfway inhale. And bow, exhale. Chair inhale. Sink down, lie down. Beautiful. Bridge pose again. Maybe you're feeling a little frisky and you want to take this into up bow, go for it. Hands back by shoulders. Release down. Pause. One more. Bridge, back bend. Skip it if it doesn't serve you. Rise up, inhale. Release down, legs straight on the ground, arms at your side. About 5 breaths here. Let your body neutralize, let your mind neutralize. It's almost like we're just kind of clearing the slate. Take a moment, about a minute, for anything you want really, but if you would like to get upside down, or if you want to even just get your legs up above, you can do legs up the wall. This is at the wall. You can do it here on your mat. You can put a block or a bolster under your hips. Or if there's an inversion that you like, I'm going to let you pick what you want today. I'm going to be working on handstand. And I'm going to trust that if you're taking an inversion like headstand, that you're not trying it for the first time today without any instruction. Okay? Deal? Perfect. And use a wall if you need for your inversions. We got about 20 more seconds here. Good. All right, and then make your way to sitting. And you can have ankle on top of knee. It is absolutely fine if this knee does not come all the way down. Please don't do this. Please don't do that. Just let that knee be where it wants to be. If it doesn't work for you, just slide the foot in front. Same idea. You're not pushing that knee down. There's a reason it's up. And then whatever leg is on top or in front, we're going to take it to that side and up and over. And if that needs to be with a block to give you a little more stability, so be it. might not feel good on you, and so you're going to go very, I don't want to say cautiously, but like go into it open but slowly. So if it feels okay, you're going to start to turn your chest upward toward the sky. And then this arm can kind of drop back a little bit, but it's not just the hand, the whole arm, as a means to sort of encourage that openness. Come back around and rise up. Switch. Whatever leg is on top or in front, we're going to go in that direction. Use a block if it's helpful for you. And if you'd like, start to open the chest. You can drop the whole arm a little bit back behind you. Come back around and then rise up. Beautiful. Last thing, legs out wide, any amount forward. Dig the heels down a little bit, lengthen the spine. Inhale, rise up. And then you can either have a seat and finish seated, or you can lie down, or some other position that works for you. And we'll finish our practice in just a little bit of still and quiet. Let go of your breath. If you're lying down, you have the ability to really release all of your muscles, thereby releasing your joints and your bones. If you're sitting, there's a little bit of work, just the minimal amount to keep yourself upright. Please stay as long as you want here. If you're ready to finish your practice, you'll follow along. Otherwise, just tune me out. If you're lying down, find a kind way to get yourself to seated. And at the beginning of class, I talked about how I start my practice, and I'm going to give you a glimpse into how I finish my practice. And it's very similar. Just observe my breath. I observe how I feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And I allow myself to feel and imprint what I'm feeling in my whole being, so that I know I can get back here when I need to. And I relish the good. So whatever I'm feeling that feels good and right, I relish it. Bring your hands together at your heart, sharing gratitude for each other, for ourselves. Thankful for this platform in which we share our practice together. There's a beauty in that, sharing this with each other. Bow your mind to your heart. Rise. Your eyes open gently. Thank you. Thank you for being here.